Hello and welcome to Portsmouth This Week. I'm your host, Conley Wake. This show is under the auspices of Rich Rayner, our Portsmouth Town Administrator. Together, Rich, myself, and the entire Portsmouth This Week team are on a mission to build community. We do that by bringing you accurate and timely information about the issues and events that impact you. We introduce you to the faces, the personalities, the leaders in this magical place in which we live. I'm so excited today to have with me our Superintendent of Schools, Liz Viveiros, Dr. Liz Viveiros. Welcome, welcome to the show. Me. I'm just going to go with Liz because I feel like we're already vibing here.
Absolutely.
Right? But I know everybody calls you Dr. Viveiros, but Liz.
That's great.
Thank you for coming and being on the show. I know things are so busy right now.
It's a busy time of year.
It's a very busy time of year. So thanks. We just want everybody to get to know you and get to know what you care about, what the schools are working on. And I know we've got a very cool bond situation coming up. So we're going to try to touch on all of that.
Let's do it.
This show is going to fly by.
All right.
Let's start though with you.
Sure.
How did you land here as our superintendent?
Oh, all right. Where do I begin?
Yeah.
Well, just a little bit about me. So, first generation college graduate. I come from a family of Portuguese immigrants, so I have been blessed. My first language was actually Portuguese, so it's very cool. And so education has always really kind of been the root of my family. So I knew from the start I wanted to be a teacher, and I went on that path. I went to Rhode Island College and quickly got a job after that at Bristol Warren. So so I was there for 14 years as a special educator, and
that's amazing.
Yes, it was a wonderful time. And also an elementary educator. I was a second grade teacher. I would argue it's one of the best grades to teach. So
I think that was maybe my favorite.
Yeah, it was really, and the kids are just really great age. Really great age, yes.
Still very sweet. Still very sweet.
Very sweet, right? So after that, I decided that I wanted to follow my leadership passions. So I got a master's in educational leadership, and once I graduated, I happened to stumble upon the position at Melville, and I said to myself, wow, this is like the ideal situation for me as a first-time principal.
Yeah, that's when you came on my radar.
Yes.
I mean, my kids weren't at Melville, they were Hathaway, but I remember you just upped the social media and you were super engaging.
So
I was like, even as a parent at Hathaway, I was like, what's going on in Melville? What cool things they're doing? You were on it.
Being an elementary principal is probably the absolute best job you could have. You are a rock star to the students, and they're happy and excited to be there. And the Melville community and the Hathaway community, just two amazing schools.
Yeah, your team of teachers over there at Melville.
Yes, absolutely. Amazing. So I spent 8 amazing years there.
And well done.
Yeah, right. Well done is correct.
That's just so cute.
I know.
It's so cute. I drive by it every day and I'm like, oh.
Well, and you know, and it's a way to acknowledge our students, right? Mm-hmm. So we have a little bit of, that's all about our positive behavior intervention systems. So PBIS, we call it. So earning those well done slips, there's actually meaning to it. And it's really that the students are, adhering
it's not just cute.
It's not.
There's a method to the madness.
Yeah, we have 4 school-wide expectations: being safe, respectful, responsible, and ready to learn. And a great way to acknowledge that, because everyone loves to be acknowledged. So at Melville, they give students well done slips.
I love it.
At Hathaway, you've got your golden apples.
Yes.
And we now have Patriot Pillars at the middle school. And
Patriot Pillars? I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, and we're working on our high school right now, because it's a little harder to get our high school students to buy into just a piece of paper that says well done. But but really great things.
We'll look forward to what you come up with there. But that's awesome.
Yeah, so my time at Melville was excellent. I had 8, again, like I said, great years there. And then I stepped into the role of deputy superintendent. So for the past 5 years, I've really been working on the nuts and bolts of all of the academics within the school district. So I spent 6 years.
Do you mean like by curriculum? What do you?
Curriculum. So it's interesting. The role of deputy superintendent, a lot of times people don't fully understand that, but really, in Portsmouth, we've taken a position and we've basically said, okay, you can be the multilingual learner coordinator. You can oversee truancy. All teaching and learning falls under that. In addition to that, just any sort of professional development that's happening for our educators, that comes out of that office as well.
There's a lot of things.
Student teachers that we're organizing within the schools. Yeah, a lot falls under that role. So for 5 years, I really worked on shaping the that academic rigor part of our district priorities. I know that I had shared those with you.
Yes, we've got this amazing, thank you for bringing some of these materials.
Just to share some information of the work that we're doing.
But most important is your priority goals, right? So
absolutely.
maybe we can hit on a couple of those. Or you know, I know our audience isn't seeing this, but what do you want to hit here? I mean, these are beautiful things.
With our strategic plan, and it runs from 2025 through 2030, and we're focusing on academic rigor for all students. We want to ensure that our students are college and career ready when they leave us. So what does that look like?
And most of them go to college?
And yes, they do. But we want to ensure that we've got students that are prepared for all aspects of life, so that students that want to get into careers right out of college, and there are some really amazing careers that are out there that don't require a college education, so to ensure that the students can also get that.
Yeah,
but
kind of whatever they want.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what we're here for. And that's, I think, why we've turned such an extensive focus on the career and technical education program at our high school. We've built our CTEs from 4 CTEs that we had, and we now have 7. And
can you tell us what those are off the top of your head?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't mean to make this a quiz.
Well, no, that's okay.
Oh,
because
shocker!
I brought it with me, right?
No, of course you did. You're very well prepared,
I could
Liz.
tell you, right? So we have visual arts, we have video production, child development, engineering, and then most recently we have bioscience, and we're doing some really amazing work with that. We also have our music production, and let's see, which one did I leave?
I think that was
in
7.
A new business management now.
Oh, a little mini MBA kind of
Absolutely,
situation.
That's what we're hoping. And when I look at our CTEs, I want to ensure that when students are taking those programs, they can see a clear career path right out of high school, and also a 4-year college path. So what would that look like? And that's what we're really starting to shape now. And it's great because those programs are now opened up to neighboring high school students, so they can apply to become a Portsmouth Patriot and attend school.
So somebody
in
from
Portsmouth.
Middletown or Tiverton or wherever, if they need that in their lives, that's beautiful.
It is really great. So that's a part of our academic rigor for all, just kind of bringing us back to these.
Yes, but that was goal 1. We got others. What else?
So staff wellness and development. I think that we've all, especially.
Are you burning out? Is this stuff?
I just think it's
been hard.
It's a tough job, right?
It's a tough job, and then you add COVID on top of it.
So I think that one positive that came out of COVID is that we've realized that we need to pause and we need to appreciate ourselves, our surroundings, and each other. And how do we do that? So with looking at our staff in not just looking at what can we do for professional development, how can we get more out of you? We also want to step back and say, what can we do for you? So that's where the wellness falls in, and that's been a focus of ours this year, is really trying to kind of give back to our teachers.
What kinds of things can you do to?
Sure. So sometimes it's just the gift of time. Really being sensitive to the fact that we have our teachers, and we try to do so much within their day, on top of them being with the students, ensuring that they're getting the professional development that they need, right? They also have to prepare their lessons. So just to be able to sit back and say, okay, sometimes just giving them that hour, giving them that time, that's really important. But then it's just being able to come together as a group and build upon each other's strengths and really be able to connect with each other. So we've given them some opportunities to do that as well. And we've had some pretty big initiatives district-wide and statewide. With the Right to Read Act, we needed to ensure that all of our teachers pre-K through 5 had science of reading instruction, and they were able to support our students and all special educators. So that was a big undertaking for us, and that's like a part of the professional development. And then at the elementary level, they're unique because they teach all content areas. So we kind of have to support them.
Right, that's tricky, right?
It's tricky, and I think professional development becomes tricky with that as well. But being an elementary teacher is just, you're so very used to it. Then you've got middle and then high school, which we start to move towards content-based professional development. So those are areas, when I look at staff wellness and development, those are all areas that we've targeted. And that really goes into the next 2 priorities, which are student well-being and family engagement. And how do we support our students, not just academically, but social emotionally? How do we meet our families and support them as well? And really focus on that collaborative community model.
So you've been an educator for so long and in a leadership role. What
28
have you seen,
years.
What kind of trends have you seen along those lines over these years? Like what's emerging now that you're like, I need to rise to meet this?
It's, as far as student well-being, this is not just here in Portsmouth, it's not just in Rhode Island, I think, and it's not just with students, right? When we're looking at the mental health crisis out there and how to really support each other, again, we need to ensure our students are ready to be educated. And how do we do that? We do that by supporting their social and emotional needs.
Yeah, and so is the issue around social media, technology, like what's causing this mental health crisis? And
if I knew
that
answer,
right?
I probably wouldn't be sitting with you, Conley.
Right.
No, I mean, I do think that social media impacts our students' mental health. It is not like it was when we were in high school.
Not at all.
Right, and I think that I
think I was passing notes maybe still, right?
That's what we were doing.
God, right?
And now we know, like our students know where their friends are at all times. Whether they were invited to be with their friends, whether they were not invited, what's happening. Everyone's life looks really great on social media, right? So I think that there's a stress to
it's
that.
A lie, right?
It's right. It's such a stressor. So we do have to support our students. We also can't turn a blind eye and say that, well, then not having social media or
you can't pretend it doesn't exist. It's like, how do you mitigate risks around it, right? And
districts are working with that right now. I think that it's conversations that we continue to have. We've revisited our cell phone policy now quite a few times, and just what does that look like at the high school? Currently, our students can't have their cell phones in their classrooms while they're learning, but we do allow them to have access to their cell phones in the halls and in the cafeteria. And just now we're starting to look at that and say, okay, what's our next step? Do we need to pull the cell phones a little bit more? And then it's the struggle of how do we keep up with that?
Yeah, and I'm sure you've got a lot of opinions about that you manage. All the stakeholders, all the strong opinions, and sometimes the loudest aren't necessarily the direction you're going. And I mean, good luck to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm certainly only one member of the team with those discussions. And I think that I can be pulled both ways because I do feel that there are
there's not one right answer.
There isn't. And I think we need to stay on top of it. I want to give our students as many opportunities as they can have. That does not include technology or social media or any forms of the internet, but yet we do have to incorporate it. And then, with AI now and all of academic integrity and what does that look like? And now we need a policy for that as well. So we're working on that.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we hit 3 and 4. What's the last?
Well, the last one falls right into our conversations of next steps for facilities.
Okay, tell me about
within our
that.
district.
What do we need here?
We've got 4 incredible buildings, really good bones. Our elementary schools were a big part of our last 5-year capital plan, and we did some really great work in the schools. And now we need to start looking at our middle school and other parts of our high school. We had some roof issues at the end of the school year last year.
At the high school.
At the high school, and we certainly don't want to see that again.
Yeah, so, and what was the solution on that? We basically had to move some classrooms out.
We had to move some classrooms.
Kind of trailer, like.
No, we
portable?
actually, within the school itself, we were able to move some classes, but we actually got really creative in ways to reroute water. Actually, we had some of our engineering students design some really creative ways to get the water that was coming in through some of the ceiling tiles into our sinks. But that said, we were able to repair that roof with, thanks to the town and the support that they gave us. And so we don't want to end up in a situation like that again. So when we think about areas that we want to support in the next bond, we certainly want to have a focus on ensuring that our middle school and the rest of our high school roof is completed. But when we look at our middle school, that is our main focus for this next 5 years.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at some projected budget, and when you think about this bond, at least 3/4 of it needs to go toward the middle school, right?
It does.
It's on that magnitude.
It is, and that's only taking the 8th grade learning center of our middle school. So that's really important.
All right, so let's back up. Let's back up. So let's set the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Describe to our viewers, what does this middle school look like? What are the pieces, and as you think about the priorities?
And I would say to the viewers, if you have not toured the middle school in the last 5 years, feel free to touch base and we can set up some tours. I actually would like to set some things up possibly throughout the summer and early fall.
Engagement.
And just to get community members into the school, because lots of times they're like, oh, I went to school there 25 years ago.
It's perfect.
And I think that it's important for us to get into the school. Again, the building itself is excellent. We were able to remodel our the little theater at the middle school, so that looks really great right now.
That's an outstanding venue.
It really is. And now that we've got new seating, new curtains, fresh paint on the walls, new carpeting, it looks like an amazing space. We look at our gymnasium, and there's lots of potential there, but we've got
potential.
We've got a lot of work to do in there as well. But it's the classrooms, and we're a top performing school district.
Well, let's talk about that real quick, all right?
Yes.
We are, right? We're one of the best in the state.
We are one of the best in the state.
Yeah. And you were sharing some data with me about how all the numbers are going in the right direction.
Yep, absolutely. We have gone up in ELA, math, science proficiency across the district. Graduation rate has gone up. Chronic absenteeism has gone down.
And what does that mean, chronic absenteeism?
So just students that are absent 10% or more of their school year, and it really depends on how many days you've been in school. And that's a real push for the state as well, is ensuring that for us to be able to support students, they need to be in school,
of course.
Right?
But we're getting high marks. It sounds like
we're doing great. We're doing great.
We're A plus.
Right. I would say we are a solid A.
Okay. All right.
And so we need innovative facilities to support that. And so when you look at an outdated facility, you really need to start trying to redesign that.
And what does outdated mean? It means I'm sweating because there's not air conditioning. Don't have the right audio-visual tools.
Sure.
What are the things when you say outdated?
So all of that, Conley. But at our middle school, it's really interesting because the concept of when they built the school was that they had these learning centers. And so within our middle school, if you were to walk down our 8th grade hall, our classrooms are doubled. So you walk into one door and you're in a classroom with no natural lighting.
Yeah.
And in order to get to the classroom,
you go through the other classroom.
You go through the other classroom.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough. Then that classroom leads to another. And then the way it works is that all 4 classrooms at one point could open. And there was this open class model that was really popular. That just doesn't work for what we need to do right now. And the fact that the walls that would, collapse and open up aren't really working effectively anymore.
Right.
And so it really is interesting. It's worth a tour for sure.
Okay, well, I'll be one of your first.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah. So if people wanted to truly do that, do they reach out to your office?
I am going to be planning some outreach to the community.
All right.
So I will set some things up, and I'll share that information with the community. I'll get it out with you as well, absolutely. But just come in, take a look at the space. I have already walked through the space with school committee members, some town council members as well, and
I think you need to get all these adults sitting in those chairs too, like we're in the classroom, so we can be like.
Well, especially that front room. It's a difficult room to be in.
Yeah.
Again, without the natural lighting, and so we're really looking to give it a facelift. So for this first. I would say for the first 5 years of what I am envisioning as a 10-year plan, because we can't get it all done at once. We want to be fiscally responsible. We understand that there is going to be a little bit of a burden on taxpayers. So what does that look like, and how can we be sensitive to that fact? So when we're developing the plan, we really are looking at stages. So this first stage would open up with what I'm hoping for would be the 8th grade learning center. We would develop that. By doing this in stages 2, we're able to take the students, and we can still accommodate students without having outdoor classroom trailers and We can, because we've got the luxury of the double classroom.
And then that 8th grade center becomes a model, and you can tweak and find best practices, and like it just gets better
with the
and better.
8th grade center, with the 8th grade learning center, we are looking to add an addition as well. It's a small addition to be able to add a few additional classes, because we've got science labs that we're considering. We have some specialties, special education classes that we're looking at also supporting. With this transition of the 8th grade, we're also looking to have a student support center, we're calling it, where our social workers, school psychologists, support staff for students would be in a local, like one central location, and we're looking to bring our nurses' office up closer to the front office, because right now it's kind of in the middle of the school, so it's a walk to get our students who aren't feeling well out. To meet their families. So that's all a part of those pieces for the middle school, and at our high school. A part of this plan is looking at our current science classrooms and how they can become more innovative. We've done a lot of work with our bioscience classes, with the CTE.
Which is one of the CTEs. Yeah.
So we've done a lot of work with those classrooms, and the hope is that we'd like for the rest of the science labs to have a similar model. So that's a part of it as well.
Very cool.
And then at the elementary schools, we really are looking at the parking lots. And just what can we do to ensure we have even pavement, plenty of parking for our families and our staff.
I haven't been there in a while. My kids just graduated, so they're all doing the college thing. So it's been a while since I've been in the Hathaway parking lot, but I believe
my daughter is graduating in 2 weeks from UConn, so I have 2 kids now out of college.
Oh, wow, it flies, doesn't it?
No, and that's a whole new world for them.
Now, were they in schools that you were the principal or anything?
They never were. We've lived in some.
Because that's a fun thing to manage, I'm sure.
Right. No, I've always been able to be mom and then teacher, principal.
Good for you.
It's sometimes you need that separation. So yeah.
Okay, before we leave Bond, what else do you want to tell us? I know we're just kind of planting some seeds. There's not a proposal out yet, right? It's in the works. Sounds like you're being really thoughtful about this.
So our hope is the current proposal all in is about $41 million. And so at this point, we're in discussions with the town council, and we're going to be working collaboratively to come up with a number that works for our town and that can support as many of the projects that we are proposing. Once we settle on an amount, then that will be a part of the question in the November election.
Okay, so it'll come up this November.
It will be this November.
Okay, so we're going to hope to have you back because we're going to talk more about this, right? And
I could bring a team of people.
Yeah,
there are quite a few people that could speak to the bond. That'll be great.
Well, that's really exciting. Oh my goodness.
It is.
Wow, but what a project. Yeah, well,
I know.
Well, I'm glad you're at the helm here.
Thank you.
You know, we've just got a couple minutes left. I would love to hear, I do a lot of work with our special education community, and you must miss that a little bit, right? And that must be near and dear to your heart. And so when you think about, you know, all of the awesomeness that's happening and making sure that that particular community feels integrated, and what comes to your mind when you think of all of that?
Again, I had said earlier that that's where I started my career. I was a life skills teacher working with students who had some significant disabilities, and we need to have programming that will support them to become lifelong learners and to support their academics and to support their emotional well-being. So when you look at programming for special education, there isn't one specific program, because we have students who have only academic needs. We have students who have some social, emotional, behavioral needs. We have, you know, needs like in the autism realm as well. And I think for us to have programming within our schools to be able to support our students, it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
And we've got Mrs. Charity Shea. She's our Director of Student Services, Portsmouth resident, and has been in special education, I believe, her entire career. And she really has brought a great vision of how we can support students into our schools. So we're continuing that work and building upon how to meet students where they are. When you look at that chronic absenteeism rate, you know, it is getting students back in. What does that look like? That doesn't always look like 5 full days a week, right? And it's having those sensitive conversations with families and being able to come up with a plan for each individual student.
Right. Oh, good work. All right, 1 minute left. What's the call to action to our viewers? What would you like to see them do after watching this amazing show?
Sure. Well, honestly, I want them to continue to support this incredible district. We truly are blessed to have the support of our families and our community members and our teachers and our leadership and the council and the school committee. And so just keep doing the great things that you're doing to support us, and we'll keep working hard to ensure that your Portsmouth pride is true within our school district.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank
Got
you.
the chills.
Thank you.
Liz, thank you.
I can't believe that was already 30 minutes.
I know, it always flies by. So please come
All right.
back.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Wonderful. This has been Portsmouth This Week with my guest, Dr. Liz Viveiros, our Superintendent of Public Schools here in Portsmouth. Thanks very much. See you next time.
The Newport Navy Choristers is a local choral group associated with the military that raises money for local 501c3 organizations. If you would like to join us on our journey and learn more about us or become one of our sponsors for a concert to benefit your organization, please visit us at www.newportnavychoristers.org.